question for me in the parallelogram, I'm given two pieces. And what do I know about these two pieces? I got a 3x minus 8 here and an x plus 12 here. The diagonals are bisected in a rectangle, meaning these two pieces are equal. Remember your options, sometimes they're going to add up to 180, sometimes they're going to add up to 90, and sometimes they're equal to each other. In the case here is, of course, equal to each other. So subtract x. I'm going to go ahead and add 8 on the other side to get 20. My x is 10, so first answer 10. Plugging in, if I want DE, I'll plug in right here, which would be 3 times 10 minus 8, which is 22. And if I want the entire D to B, remember they're both 22 because it's bisected, so that would be a total of 44. Now note on the test, it only asks you for the last number, which is in this case the 44. A big reason why this is often missed is some kids will stop at X, or some kids will just plug in on one side. Make sure you're clear about what the question is asking you for. I feel like way more of my students can do it than as opposed to the number that actually read the question and get the question right. What's the total volume? There's nothing really hiding here about this. The radius down here is 8, same as the radius in the cone. Just plug in your pieces. You know that the bases are both pi r squared. So the cone is 1/3 pi 8 squared times the height. And the cylinder is the same thing, just without the 1/3 pi r squared times the height is 14 on the cylinder. Add the two together, and you got the answer. Next question. Generally, the best question here is the one that's shown, but the one that we're looking for in this case is the one that's, again, shown. That is an ellipse or an oval. If I take my cross-section parallel to the bases, which would be this way, it would still be a circle. It would never change, really, for if you cross-section parallel to the bases, it's going to be the same as the base. If I cross-section perpendicular, which would mean through the top down, that would make a rectangle, which was the only other option. Make sure you know what your bases are. In a pyramid, triangular pyramid, the bases are triangles, which is 1/2 BH. In a cone, the base is a circle, which is pi r squared. Trapezoidal prism has trapezoidal bases, and a rectangular prism has rectangular bases. Fifth question. This is the newest thing that we've learned. This seems to be going pretty well today. If the entire B to E is 18, we know this is a centroid because it's 3 medians. Remember that 18 is going to break down into two pieces that are 1/3 and 2/3 of it, which would be 12 and 6. Make sure you know which one's which. The shorter one is the 6, the longer one is the 12. The total is 18. Shorter one's the size of the longer one. So let's work backwards. It's been a couple days since we had a question like this. The volume of a cylinder. Cylinders have circular bases. I know the volume is 294 pi. I don't know the radius. I know the height is 6. So I get rid of 6. I'll divide by 6. How am I going to get rid of pi? Thank you, that's a times pi, so I'm going to divide by pi. And yes, you can do them both at the same time, and you'll end up with 49 equals r squared. I didn't get rid of the square yet. Thank you, use square root to get rid of a square. Radius is 7. What's the diameter? Thank you, diameter is twice the radius. A big reason why this question is missed is because they ask you for the diameter on the test. A lot of kids will put the radius. Make sure you read the question Answer the right question. That's kind of the challenging thing oftentimes with geometry. Kids will do the right work, answer the wrong question. Trapezoidal prism. I won't give you this part, but I will give you the V equals capital BH part. So you gotta do the base. I'm sorry, let's start in order. The height of the trapezoid is 4. The bases are 8 and 14. Remember, bases are always parallel. Height forms a right angle. And then I gotta multiply times the height of the prism, which height always connects your bases. My bases are connected by the 10. Type all that in. You got your volume. Popular or often missed one. What do you know about these two angles? Thank you. In a parallelogram, two consecutive angles are always supplementary, aka 180 degrees. So this time my equation is 4x plus 5 plus x plus 15 is equal to 180. Last time we set them equal to each other. This time they're not equal to each other. You got an obtuse angle and an acute angle. Combine my x's, that's 5x. Combine my constants, that's 20. I'm going to subtract 20 to get down to 160, and I'm going to divide off 5 to get x is 32. So they were, again, supplementary 180. X is 32. Make sure you find the correct answer at the end. We want angle B, which is this angle, which is the same as that angle. So all I got to do is plug 32 in to angle D. 32 plus 15 is 47 for the last answer. Of course, 47 is in degrees. What happens to the volume of a cylinder if you triple the radius? Note the radius is squared in the formula. So when I triple it, the triple gets squared, which makes a 9 ultimately. So the volume ends up multiplying by 9. You're welcome to type in the formula in Desmos and use a dummy radius of like 1 and then triple that radius to 3 and look at the difference. They're going to multiply, the volume's going to multiply by 9. Matching the following, I guess there's a question on this. There's like almost always a question on this. We're increasing from -2 to 3. So first up, increase. We're positive from 1.5 to infinity apparently. We're negative. Negative means below the x-axis from -2 to 1.5. Decreasing from 3 to about 5.5. And I think I got everything. So domain. Domain is left to right, -2 to infinity on domain. So I'm always putting a question in that category. I'm almost always putting an inverse. Again, question from the last 2 days. If GE is 5, then you know this part has to be 10, and the whole thing is 15. The whole median in that case is 15. Last question, find an x in the parallelogram. If this is 30, then by alternating here, this is 30. And you know that, like we said earlier, consecutive angles better add up to 180. That includes the 100 and this entire angle. So right now there's 130, so that has to be 50. It's a 100-degree angle and an 80-degree angle.